Today's the 300th vlog. I was gonna do something special for number 300, but the more I thought about it, you know how you celebrate your 18th or your 21st birthday, but by the time 26 rolls around, it's like, okay, you made it this far, now what? Well, that is exactly how I feel about vlog 300. 100 was like this huge big deal, like, wow, I can't believe I made it here. Even 200 was like, wow, I did 100 twice. But 300 just means like now I am officially a vlogger. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And the question that remains is what now? And I don't have an answer. I don't know. I want to keep doing this. I want to keep the daily uploads going. But I definitely feel like comfort scares the shit out of me. And I don't want to be comfortable like, okay, my daily upload, that's it. I need something more. I need something different. And I haven't nailed what that is. Rest assured I will. I'll figure something out. I don't think it'll be something dramatic, but I do want to shift things a little bit, like incrementally. If you're not constantly evolving your craft, then what's the point in doing it anyways? I never want to be comfortable. I never want to feel safe. That is the fast track to being irrelevant. I want to keep it fresh. I want to mix it up, and I will be doing that. That's what 2016 is about. It's so cold outside! You're right back there, Jesse! This Q&A is viral videos. That only seems appropriate because of my snowboard video, which is still going viral, and therefore I want to milk it for all it's worth by continuing to talk about it.
Hey Casey, so what's it like to have a video go viral, and how many have you had that have went viral?
It's exciting, it's fun. It's so short and momentary. Like by Friday, the whole world will have forgotten about this video. But when you're in the moment, it's wildly exciting. How many viral videos have I had? I don't know, it's tough to really quantify viral, but maybe 5 or 6 that have really popped.
Now that you've got this viral video, do you feel like that's the one video that everyone's going to know you for? And is that the video that you want everyone to know Casey Neistat by?
When I was 22, I had a movie come out called iPod's Dirty Secret that did like 6 million views in a week before YouTube. When that went viral, everybody said to me, you're always gonna be known as the iPod guy. And then when Make It Count went viral, I was the Make It Count guy. And when Bike Lanes happened, I was the Bike Lanes guy. And now I can be the snowboard guy. If you only ever have one movie that goes huge, yes, that will be your identity forever. As long as you keep changing it up, you can overcome it. But if I were only known for one movie, is that such a bad thing? Like, I'm super proud of that movie, so.
Hi Casey, where do you find time to watch YouTube videos? It seems like you're always running, working, or spending time with your family.
Whenever I get stuck and I'm struggling with the edit, I watch a video. Sometimes a piece of a video, sometimes a whole video, but I always just like watch another YouTube video, and that gets things moving. Lately I've been watching a lot of PewDiePie.
Hi Casey, when you film these videos, is it scary?
I'm not entirely sure what you mean by is it scary, but the answer is yes. It's always scary because you have no idea how anyone's gonna react to making something. No matter how much stuff you put out there, it still stings when someone doesn't like something that you've worked hard on. So yeah, that's scary. But I think the key is like not succumbing to those fears or concerns, or like, really, who gives a shit if it goes viral? If you think it's great, awesome, you've succeeded. Maybe you noticed that all of today's questions were from young ladies. Every question I get is from like a 13-year-old boy, and sometimes it's nice to have a little gender diversity in there. So the question I was asked the most is, how do you make a viral movie? Here's a quick recipe.
The technician.
First you need to do these things. Zeitgeist. Make sure it's of the now. Timing. If you're too late, no one cares. If you're too early, no one knows what you're talking about. Fresh. If you're doing something that a million people have already done, chances are it's not gonna catch on. Is your message clear? Like, is it something that everyone's gonna get, or is it so esoteric nobody's gonna give a shit? Step one, have you accomplished all of these things? This isn't everything, but have you accomplished all of these things? If the answer is no, not viral. Is it a totally fucking kick-ass video that people actually want to watch? If the answer is no, it's not going to go viral. If the answer is yes, then you've touched on everything I know about how to make a viral video. But even so, the video will probably not be viral, because the truth is, I have no fucking idea how or why the video goes viral. So if you can figure out this little question mark right here, then you, my friend, are a god and you should be making videos for a living because you can... Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope that was a thorough enough explanation for you. You know, one of the things that Candace says that she really likes about me is how tough my hands are. You can never really trust a man that has really smooth, soft hands. I haven't done mail time in a while, and this isn't a normal mail time. I don't have nice things. I don't have nice things because I break everything. I can't have a fancy car because I destroy it. Instead, I drive the toughest vehicle I can find, a busted up Jeep. Even the camera equipment that I own is all broken. I don't wear fancy clothes. I don't have like any jewelry. My glasses look like this. The one exception to this is the fact that I wear like this ridiculous Rolex. Let me explain the Rolex. My in-laws, that is Candace's parents, got it for me as a wedding present. And thinking to myself, this is the nicest thing I've ever seen. I can never wear this. And Candace came to me and she's like, you're gonna offend my parents. And I was just like, look, I will just destroy it. This is my watch. A watch that's literally sold to people because it's unbreakable. A white plastic watch. And Candace gets for me a rubber, like G-Shock-esque band, so it doesn't bounce, it doesn't jingle, like I really can't break a rubber band. And all of a sudden, what was once way too precious for me becomes a fairly practical wristwatch. Okay, back to mail time. I know what's in these next mail time boxes, so before I open them, a quick story. Right after I posted the snowboarding in New York City movie, some guy commented or tweeted at me and he said, way to totally screw up your snowboard, bag. That bothered me for so many reasons. The main reason was that, like, yes, it did screw up my snowboard, which I loved. It didn't wreck it. Snowboarding through the streets of Manhattan during the biggest blizzard in history is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And to not do that because I'm worried about something like scratching my snowboard just seems so, like, sort of thinking, like, how short-minded are you, kid who commented on my YouTube video? Okay. Now I can open the next mail time package. The moral of the story is, opportunity and experience always trumps material possessions. And at the end of the day, if you do something that you're that passionate about, like something that is that, I mean, come on, snowboarding in New York City, that like the universe will make it right. In this case, the universe is the snowboard manufacturers, and they made it right by sending me 3 new ones. This is a little abstract, but bear with me. Every time in my life where I've had to kind of ignore the consequences and go for it, for the most part, it's worked out. I'm thinking specifically like, first time I maxed out my credit card to buy a video camera. Really stupid thing to do, never max out your credit card. But if I hadn't done it, I may not have ever gotten into filmmaking. When I quit my job as a dishwasher because I wanted to move to, if I hadn't quit that job, like what would have happened? But the other side of the coin is like, don't max out your credit card, that's really stupid because. Don't quit your job, that's really stupid because. Don't snowboard through the streets, that's really stupid because. There are always really good reasons not to do things. But like if you really believe that it's something you have to do, the universe has a way of making it okay. I'm not still talking about the snowboards, by the way, that's crazy. But they're a good example of what I'm trying to talk about. What do you think of that movie 3 years later?
Well, I remember the phone call in Paris.
You think I'm very annoying and
No,
spoiled
I don't-
and weak, and I think you're very annoying and spoiled and tough.
I don't think you're annoying or spoiled.
And I thought it was very, like, an odd conversation. But then when I got home and I saw the note from you, like, my heart dropped and I was like,
What, because you knew I was trying to get back together with you?
Yeah.
So this movie starts, for those of you who haven't seen it, with us in 2005 when we went and got married. Now this wasn't like when we actually got married. Look, we're wearing bathing suits. And then we got it like annulled immediately thereafter. Do you think that that initial marriage was a bad idea? Yes? Her parents were so upset with us. Okay. So this whole movie revolved around us going on an RV trip from New York to Florida. It smells like poop in here.
Let's just close that note. I like my toilets to be stationary.
Roughing it is not something Candace is either good at or enjoys. It smells like human in here.
I feel like we fought. Like, we didn't talk for a few days after the trip.
We fought on the trip.
I know, but I feel like after it was like, I don't know if I can hang out with this guy anymore.
There's no sure way to find out whether you like someone or hate them than to travel with them. Is that me? That's harsh. Let's finish the movie now. Pre-trip interview. I'm excited as could be. Maybe you don't know this because I've literally never addressed this, but I had braces like until about a year ago. And this movie was shot right before I got those braces, and look at the crookedness of these teeth. I look like a hillbilly. They're getting crooked again.
I know, because you don't wear your retainer.
I need to wear my retainer. Okay, back to the movie. We stopped at a hotel. Hey boo, we're all set. It really negates the whole point of having an RV if you don't sleep in it. No.
Yes, we did make that agreement. I would never have gone on it thinking that we were going to sleep and drive in that thing for 36 hours.
This scene, which was shot on 3 iPods, where it's all choreographed with us on 3 iPods. That was shot way after the fact, but that's definitely my favorite scene in the whole movie. For a good part of our adult lives, we've been stuck in this cycle. It's the same story you've heard a million times. At first, everything's all lovey and great. Then, a little tension, a pull, and we both walk away. And we break up. A little time, and we forget why we were mad. With little effort, we're back together. Then, it breaks off. It feels so real, so permanent. But time heals all. And again, we forget. And now, here we are. Just pause, a little context. There's no way that I could capture in any movie just how tumultuous our relationship was until we got married. I mean, in like 6 years, we probably broke up.
6 times?
At least. And I mean like serious breakups. We're like seeing other people breakups.
And like, I had to go get a tattoo breakup. And like, get skinny, hot breakup.
What, to get me back?
Yeah, just like, that's what girls do. It's
When
like
you break up, you get skinny and hot?
Just as a little f*** you.
What were we talking about before I interrupted? To give the context? It was something funny.
No, I just don't like feeling like I'm wasting my life. Okay? And like, you get mad at me when I say that, but that is a real feeling for me. I'm just saying that like, maybe I should be with somebody somewhere in the middle. Someone who cares about me enough to say, I can't imagine my life without you in it.
It was a really gnarly relationship.
The kind of relationship where your friends are like, ugh, I don't want to ever hear that name again.
Yeah.
And then my sister's like, you will end up together. And my mom's like, just leave him alone. And Marcy's like, I can't deal with you anymore.
And then everything worked out, and now we have like the most perfect, happiest marriage ever.
Because we literally almost broke up yesterday.
Yeah, and every day. You want to not fight on a trip like this. I never want to fight ever. But there was a lot left ignored. We'd been broken up for a while. Plus, we hadn't slept much, and I'd done a terrible job planning this trip. And Candace had been a pretty good sport about it. We shot that movie in 2011. I didn't put that online until 2013. The reason why is I knew the minute I put it online that I was going to have to propose to you and then marry you.
But why do you think that?
Well, because I think that like by releasing that and putting that in the public, there's a level of accountability there. And if I were to make a movie like that about you and show it to the world, that means I couldn't date anyone else.
That's what I was going to say. That's the thing, is you wouldn't be able to date anyone else.
No way. 3, 2, 1. Whoa. All right, I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed this behind the scenes. Candace brought an entire bag of cookies for this little like screening project, and she's really doing a hell of a job. Why would you open the bag like that?
It's easier to get to them.
That is why this marriage. That is why this marriage. You know, I opened up the box of Lucky Charms yesterday, and you opened it from the bottom. How is this marriage supposed to work if that's the kind of behavior I have to deal with? She tore the cookie bag open from the side. Who does that? And I had a bit of an epiphany. Bear with me here. This is my living situation happiness matrix. Ready? First, the reasons I've been thinking I need to leave New York City. These are all the reasons why I've been feeling like maybe it's time to leave the city. Theoretical list of reasons why Los Angeles would be a good juxtaposition for New York City. Theoretical is the key word here. So what we've got here is problem and solution. The trouble with this solution, theoretical. This is a list of the current conflicts I have with my current living situation. There are a lot of parallels between my current living situation issues and what I had previously assigned to my problems with the city at large. Okay, here we go. Now this new apartment we saw today's situation perfectly juxtaposes the issues I have with my current living situation, which also parallels my problems with New York City. Since this is theoretical, this is factual. This is more presumptive than it is practical. This is entirely practical. These problems are actually these problems, and these solutions are actually these solutions. I think we just need to move. I gotta talk Candace into getting that new apartment. When I first moved to New York City in like 2001, I used to work while sitting on a futon that was also my bed. Then when I was living with these three girls, I was making these movies with my brother Van where we had to burn a whole bunch of candles. And the girls like wanted me to leave the apartment because they were afraid I was gonna burn it down. That was my first ever laptop, and when I got that, I could kind of work anywhere. That was a big deal. I'm skipping a lot of stuff, but it was 2004 or 2005 when I got a space that was just dedicated to work. And that was this space, but it didn't look anything like it does right now. It was just like 4 white walls in this like industrial building, but it was amazing. Getting my own workspace was the biggest deal. It was the biggest thing that happened to me. It was like a huge inflection point in my career. In 2007, maybe, something like that, we got the budget for the HBO show, and we knocked down this wall here and connected this space with this space, making one larger space. That construction project was the narrative for the first episode of my HBO show. I shared my first bedroom with my brother until I was 12. When I was really young, it seemed huge, but as I got older, it got smaller and smaller. What was once my own palace had become a closet, the source of my ever-present claustrophobia. The studio is a 14 by 18 foot box, and just like my old bedroom, Van and I had grown out of it in a destroyer. Painting, lighting, everything done in 5 24-hour blitzkrieg-style shifts. There's so much we can do now with this space. So much work being made. Whoa. I haven't watched any of that HBO show in a very long time. Wow. It's like stepping into a time machine watching that. Before I built this wall here, this was like an open space. Check out how dope I am on this skateboard circa 2008. I got a brand new skateboard this week. I spray painted it white and wrote my name on it. It's the first new skateboard I've had since I was 14. And then someone sat at this desk over here, and then someone sat in that desk over there, and then eventually I turned this space over here into like a regular workspace and not an office space. And then the point is, this studio has seen like 1,000 iterations, and each one of those iterations was done with a very specific purpose: to maximize the efficiency and productivity of this studio. Now, I realize it may seem neat in here, it may seem organized in here, it's not. This isn't that big of a space, a lot happens in here, and there's a lot going on in here. Perfection is essential to productivity. So something I've been thinking about for a long time, and today will be like the initiation of, is completely redoing this entire studio. I mean like completely redoing it. Today's gonna be about assessing the potential and really figuring out what's wrong with this space. All this snowboard gear here, wrong. This is like another place to edit video. It's completely wrong. This entire area here, like this entire hallway here, this has become where like shirts and clothes and old backpacks hang. All these mail time packages here. This was designed as a camera storage, battery charging facility. Instead, it's become this dump where all like my most precious, I don't use this, I don't use this desk, this shooting table here, it's perfect. My wood shop here, perfect. Skateboard rack, perfect. So where does that leave me? I would say 70% of this office needs to be completely redone. 30% is good. This is preliminary stuff here, but I think it's important to start planning immediately. The main problem is this area is wildly underused. This area is overused. I spend a lot more time editing out here because I need the daylight coming through these windows here. Here's what I'm thinking of committing to today. All of the storage gets moved back to where the current office is. My new future desk is where the drones currently are and where my boosted boards are. This is an important first step. A desk that goes around and around. Move the skateboards, move the boxes, move all of this stuff, move the drones. This, get it out. This entire area, dump it. This desk, wasted space. This entire area, everything behind me, just storage. When you walk through this door, you enter into like a camera, tripod, skateboard, drone, snowboard. Picture Willy Wonka's factory, no candy, only gear. That just makes so much more sense than having it scattered everywhere. Today felt like a very necessary first step. This is something that's been eating away at me for a long time now. By making this video, I am obliging myself to do it. Normally I would throw everything I've got at this and just get it done fast, but I lack the resources currently, so one step at a time. Construction begins first thing tomorrow. I was with a friend of mine last week and he said, just make a decision. It'll be the right decision, but just make a decision. You'll make it right. That's like a particularly inspiring statement for me to hear right now. We're moving forward trying to get this new apartment. Making the decisions around completely redoing the studio feels really good. You just make the decision and then you act on it. Yeah. Scheduled vlog. I don't know how long this has been down here, but I can think of a lot of places more appropriate to store a DVD recorder than under a radiator. This is 1.5 inch plumbing pipe. These are flanges. It's my favorite thing to make desks out of. Boosted board area needs to be relocated. That's gonna go in the back where the rest of the stuff is gonna go. This is for work, that is for stuff. Today is day 2 of studio construction. Let me bring you up to speed. Yesterday, I not so gracefully removed. Then I installed this desk here and removed what was like a storage wall with boosted boards and all kinds of other crap on it to make room for this new desk area. My thinking with this construction project is extremely calculated, but not super efficient. You see, I'm gonna tackle one construction aspect at a time, complete that, perfect that, then move on to the next thing. Number 1 was building a new desk for myself. Let me walk you through exactly what I'm thinking here. The relocation destination of the new desk is going to an area that currently takes care of the red boxes, the boosted board, the gimbal, the drone storage, the office supplies, and the magazine archive. After the desk relocation, the new area will house the hard drives, the typewriter, the surveillance monitors, the regular monitors, and the computers, which is great. But then, all the things that were in the location that is now the desk relocation become a problem. Where do I put them? What that means right now is not pretty at all. My organized office back here, this is what it looks like now. So each solution presents a problem. And that completes the overall shape of the new desk. Feels pretty good.
So you got people like Jack and all these other employees around you. What are your hopes for them? Do you want them to be like you and go on to create bigger and better things, or do you want them to stay at your organization?
Are you on an airplane? I have had the pleasure of working with or hiring like quite a few, probably like 50 different employees in my entire career. And what I always say when I hire someone is, if you're still working for me in 2 years, you're doing something wrong. Meaning you should have taken everything there is to learn from this position and moved on by now within 2 years. So when it comes to someone like Jack, you know, he worked for me for like 1.5 years, and then we started Beam, and he moved into like a very serious role there. I really wanted to do a normal Q&A today, but this question's too good. I have to dive into it and explain. Okay, sorry about this. I try not to get distracted, but I get distracted. This is too good of a question for me to not properly answer. Bear with me here, okay? You got your x-axis here, you got your y-axis here. These are the jobs you have in life. And here on your y-axis, you got your skills, your education, your experience, your value. And then this is you. Here's your first job. Maybe it's at McDonald's, maybe it's at Burger King, maybe you're washing dishes, but you do gain skills, education, and experience. Your value increases. Now the minute you're no longer going up, the minute your trajectory starts to plateau, you have to move on to job number 2. And job number 2 should increase your value. When you've expired this job, you find job number 3. The moment you stop going up and you start to go like this in any one job, and this gap gets big here, that's when it's time to change things. This plateau, which is comfort, when you're doing the same thing day in and day out of your job, is when your value starts to atrophy. If it's not going up, it's actually going down, because the rest of the world just keeps moving. This is the only trajectory to do in any career. Now, this doesn't mean you have to be quitting your job every 6 months. This doesn't mean anything like that. But at your job, you should always be asking yourself, am I learning new things? Am I increasing my value? And if the answer is no, work harder and find that opportunity, or maybe find a new job. So Jack's a really good example of this. Yeah, he's been with me for a long time, but he's never moved laterally. His value is always going up. This is true for every job I've ever had. When I was washing dishes, I was learning how to cook. And before I left that job in the restaurant, I was a line cook. I wasn't just a dishwasher. Every job I've had in my entire career, I was like an orange. And the minute there's no more juice to be squeezed from that orange, I let it go and I move on.